Welcome to a new episode of the Fluent English Pro podcast. My name is David Perez, your host, and today we are speaking about motivation because sometimes, oh my God, we feel we are putting in a lot of work and a lot of effort, but we don't see the results. Or sometimes we're just tired. We're just tired. We don't want to know anything else about English or about work or about business. And we just want to exist and be a hamster and eat peanuts and live the hamster life. But we are not hamsters. We are human beings and we can work on our motivation. Actually, also bear in mind that motivation is just part of the process. It's not all of the process. The process does not depend on motivation. We will speak about that right away. Why motivation matters? Because it helps you connect with the process. It is not the process itself. The process doesn't depend on it, but it helps you connect with it and keep going. Some of the aspects it helps with is staying consistent. I say it helps. It doesn't depend on that. And I am going to repeat this 100 times in this episode because motivation is just one factor. If motivation doesn't work, the other factors will help. But we are speaking motivation today. So it helps to staying consistent. Yeah. And staying consistent will lead to better results. It's going to lead to better results inevitably. Doing small efforts every day have the inevitable consequence of giving you better and better results. And this connects to the next idea. It is improve your English. Improving your work English and your business English is a marathon, not a sprint. Meaning, you are not going to see results overnight. You are going to see results after a long process of consistent work. So if you're in a hurry of why am I not seeing improvement after 10 classes or 20 classes or 3 months of classes, is because it actually takes more time. And as a teacher and as a person who has been studying English for many years, there is a point when you feel you are not learning as much as you used to in terms of maybe fluency and other aspects, but you are learning in other areas. So there are multiple dimensions of language where you can find improvement. And the other aspect is it helps you connect with English at an emotional level, not just for work and business, but also for your personal interests, personal hobbies, projects, etc. So this is a nice thing. Overall, I would like to insist on the aspect of motivation I would like to emphasize on the aspect of improving your business and work English being a marathon, not a sprint. Is because even though motivation plays a factor in it, discipline also plays a big factor in it, and consistency plays a big factor in it. Sometimes bigger than motivation. So if you're doing a marathon, you might not be motivated to run, but you still run. You might not be motivated to do that thing, but you still do it. And you find motivation after you start doing the thing. Let me repeat that idea. Sometimes you find the motivation after you start doing the thing. And if you don't find the motivation, then you do the thing anyway because you have other factors. You have discipline, you have consistency, you have a vision in your goals that helps you stay on track. So not everything depends on this. When it comes to motivation, I can give you some tips, of course, on how to strengthen your motivation. Because as a teacher, something I do with students and something that is taught to teachers is that we use intrinsic and extrinsic things in the student's life that motivate them and use that as an engine to teach them English. Yes. Find what motivates the student and use that to teach them English. That's what teachers do. And that's why I can give you a few ideas on how to find your motivation. So the first item here is why? Why do you want to improve your English skills? Why do you want to learn more about work English or business English in a specific area? Is it maybe because you want to aspire to a higher salary? Is it maybe because you are projecting to have an online job at a particular company or in a particular industry? Is it because you want to travel and find a job abroad? Is it because you just like it and want to have a better knowledge of something for the pleasure of it? Yeah. What is your why for this? If you write it down, writing it down is going to help you make it more tangible and more real, and it's going to help you stay motivated. On the same note, use what you love as a channel to summon that motivation. It doesn't have to be related to work or business. If you like playing the guitar, look for information about it in English. If you like cinema, if you like cooking, if you like fitness, if whatever the topic is, go connect with it and learn about it by using English. It's going to help you learn more about that, connect more with that emotionally, and also improve your overall motivation to connect with the English language. The other point for connecting with your motivation or for strengthening your motivation is using real life content, real life business English and work English content as a complement to your process. Yeah. So one thing is learning English by listening to this podcast, for example, which is very important. You always benefit from having a tutor or from having a mentor, which is what we do. But also you need to see the real life application of the skills and the capacities you learned with your mentor. And the application can be seen when you consume video, audio, and text content in English about the industry of your interest, and you get to understand the ideas and you are able to have discussions about it in English. So connect your learning process with real life application of this knowledge. Okay, now some other very specific strategies for improving your English motivation. And I say quote unquote motivation because actually this is connected to discipline and to consistency and other things. So first thing is use English every day on a consistent basis, not just for work. Do it for emails, for messages, for your shopping list, for your personal notes. Integrate English into your everyday life. It's going to make it easier, a lot easier for you to use when you are at a work or business setting. The other one, which I do, and I tell you this is very effective, it is intentionally think in English and also speak in English aloud to yourself. Speak in English to yourself alone. I know, yes, this looks or sounds crazy and sounds silly. Speaking to myself in English, what are you talking about, David? God, it works, man. I gotta tell you, it works very well. When you are by yourself, maybe you went out for a walk, or maybe you're working, like express your ideas in English and talk to yourself in English and think in English. It helps a lot. It really helps. And then we continue with exposure. Yeah, exposure, a lot of exposure. Everything that you can consume in English, consume it in English. Stop doing it in your native language. Why are you doing it in your native language when you can, at this moment, understand most of this information in English? Yeah, everything that is business related, news, articles, white papers, reports, videos, tutorials, manuals, etc. Do it in English. And finally, consume motivational content in English. If you want to find more motivation, consume motivational content in English. Many leaders and many business coaches have books and have conferences and have events and have podcasts and have video channels where they give you a lot of motivation and a lot of direction in terms of how to grow your career, yes, your professional career or your business. So you can capitalize from that content in English as well. The next point is very important. Everything I just mentioned, do it, but start slow, step by step. Do not inundate yourself with a lot of content in English overnight. Don't do a big thing all of a sudden. Do it slowly, do it calmly, and do it incrementally. For example, if you are going to listen to a podcast, don't listen to 3 hours or 4 hours of the Joe Rogan podcast. You're going to go crazy. I will go crazy. Just listen to 10-minute episodes. Look for a podcast. There are a lot of them. There are a lot of them that contain episodes that are between 10 to 15 minutes or even shorter, and listen to those short episodes. Connected to this is keep it consistent. Small steps, but every day. So you do a short 10-minute podcast every single day. Keep it simple, keep it short, but keep it consistent every day. Yeah. The discipline, the routine you build can continue and will continue operating even without motivation. That's what we want, because motivation is never an eternal thing. Motivation is ephemeral. Motivation comes and goes, but the routine is there and you can use it to your advantage. Another important thing that will absolutely help your motivation is keep track. Write down your progress. Write down the new words you have learned, the new expressions, the new idioms, the new phrasal verbs, the new concepts you have learned. And after 6 months, you can go back to your journal and see, oh my God, I learned hundreds of new words and dozens of new expressions. And I have a big or an extensive knowledge on these business concepts now. So when you keep track of things, you can go back and see how much you have progressed. And also keep it fun. Keep it fun. It doesn't have to be a lonely process. There are other scenarios you can join. You have conversation clubs, you have Toastmasters, you have online communities. So just be a part of those. Yeah, the learning process can be not just about English. Yes, about your hobbies, for example, or about if your thing is engineering. So join an engineers online community. If you're into design, so join a designers online community. Or your hobbies, if you like I don't know, if you're like sewing or if you like photography, join communities related to your hobbies that exist in English, yes, that operate in English. And reward yourself, yeah? Allow yourself to celebrate your progress. Don't be an ass to yourself. Be nice to yourself because you have been doing this for a while and you can see the results now. If you are listening to me in this moment, if you understand what I'm saying, that means you are way ahead than when you started time ago, maybe years ago, when you were learning the numbers and learning the alphabet. So you deserve to be rewarded and appreciated for the amazing work you have been doing through your process and your journey of learning English. I hope this episode brought you a lot of value. If there is a person that you are sure is going to benefit from it as well, please share this audio, share this podcast episode, share this YouTube video with them immediately. Don't wait for later. Don't wait for tomorrow. It's like now. You just go to the share button and you look for your contact list and you find that person and you tell that person, hey, this is awesome. You got to listen to it. You got to watch this video. You got to listen to this podcast. And you're giving that person a hug by sharing something valuable to them via just the link. It means a lot to us as well. That has been all for today. Thank you very much. If you want to learn more, remember to subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcast or whatever platform you use to listen to us. And also on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube if you're there. That's all for now. Thank you very much and see you on the next one. Goodbye.